Hello, hello. Welcome in, girlfriends. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. Sorry, a little technical difficulty here. I don't know if I'm flying solo tonight or not, but if I am, please be kind to me. Hi, Chu. How are you, sweetie? Thank you for coming. I need to just grab something for my nose real quick, and I will be right back. I don't even have a stand for my phone, so I'm a mess, but thank you for being here. Excuse me 1 second. I'll be right back. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me okay, too? I want to make sure that I have sound. I hope so. If anybody that comes into the chat, if you can just let me know if you can hear me, please, that would be awesome. Yeah, I should have sound, I hope. Okay. Oh no, that knocked me off. Give me 1 second. I want to be able to see the chat here. Okay. You can hear me? Okay, perfect. Thank you. I'm sorry. Some people know, some people don't know that I am like in between going to my house and working on my house, and we're living in a hotel because of Hurricane Milton. So, and they switch the password all the time. So my password was switched, and I had to get that set before I could come on air. So, but thank you so much for everybody being here tonight. I want to do things a little bit different because I feel like some people are feeling like their comments are not being read or they're not being heard what they're wanting to say. So I'm going to leave the chat pretty much open for you guys tonight and let you do more of the talking. Tonight's topic, of course, is President Trump's addressing the Congress on Tuesday night. And I want to know how everybody feels about what was said during, before I give my input in on it, I want to know how everybody feels about the speech that he gave on Tuesday night. So, and again, I appreciate you being here, but I want to give you an opportunity first. If you have any opinions, pro or con, about anything that happened on Tuesday night, whenever the president spoke to the Congress for the very first time since he took office, um, this term, how you feel about it. So, like I said, I don't want this show to be simply my opinion, but I want to make sure, and I know some people felt like their comments weren't read in the last live. So I want to definitely take the time this week to make sure that every person, your comments, and please be respectful. Again, I hate to even have to remind people of that, but be respectful. We can all be kind and agree to disagree in a nice way. Okay. So just be respectful. I respect anybody's opinion. Hi, Nikki. How are you, sweetheart? Thank you for being here. Right now, I think I'm flying solo. I don't know where my wingmen are, but we're going to do this. So it's an important topic. And I watched the entire address that he gave to Congress from start to finish. I did my background research. I have things that I want to share. But like I said, if anybody wants to, and normally it takes a few minutes before people are putting stuff in the chat. And hi, Nana Tink. Welcome, sweetheart. But I want to give you the opportunity to speak first. I will try. And again, right now I'm here by myself, and I will give everyone a chance to put things in the chat. I just ask that you be respectful. Jerry is not here right now. I don't know if she's going to be showing up, if something happened or what. But if she is here, I just ask that you please. Hi, Cripple Creek. Welcome in. I just ask that you be respectful. So, and it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat or an independent, we're all Americans first. And we have people from other countries that have come into the chat and people from all around the world that have watched this. So I just ask that you think about things before you say them, and that you are intelligent and polite. That's all that I ask. So, the president made several statements whenever he spoke. Hi, Ella. Welcome, honey. He made several statements on Tuesday in his address to Congress of uh, things that he had done, things that are going to be done. I know one big point that was made during his address was that he stated that Elon Musk is in charge of DOGE, which, for those of you that don't know, DOGE stands for the Department of Government Efficiency. It's called DOGE for short. Well, up until Tuesday night, Elon Musk was simply an advisor. Oh, thank you, disability seeker. It just all depends on what light I'm under. And right now, I literally have a little light on top of a table here in my hotel room. I don't even have a phone stand. My phone is sitting on top of my laptop. So, but thank you very much. Uh, but he said on Tuesday night for the very first time that Elon Musk is in charge of DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. Up until now, it has been told to the American public that Elon Musk is simply an advisor. He's going to assist DOGE. He did not have an official title or a job with DOGE. So, because some of you know, some of you don't know, Elon Musk has gotten billions of dollars from our U.S. government for quite some time. And, it's for his projects and things that he does, but he's gotten billions of dollars. A lot of people feel that it is unethical for Elon Musk to be getting all of this money and to be in charge of government efficiency. But like I said, it was told to the American public that he is not in charge. I think the name of the woman, if somebody knows it, is Ann Gleason, maybe. She's the person, I might not have her right name correct, but she is supposed to be the head of DOGE, not Elon Musk. Again, he's just an advisor. But Tuesday night, President Trump said that Elon Musk is in charge of DOGE. He even acknowledged him there. He was right there in Congress. He even got his cell phone out, which I guess, I don't know if he was recording it, so he would have a record of it or what. But I know the Secret Service were not happy that he had a cell phone and that it was out on Congress floor. I don't know if anybody's picked that up in the news at all. But uh, does anybody else know that? Are you aware of that? That up until Tuesday night, that Elon Musk was simply an advisor to DOGE. He did not have a job title with DOGE. He has been in the Oval Office speaking a few times. He's been there with his little toddler sitting up on his shoulders. So, but does anyone else know that Elon Musk did not have an official, supposed official title with that? Okay. Hi, House of Joni. But he's been doing a great job not wasting and fraud. I wouldn't care which party did this. I'm all for eliminating waste and fraud. Okay, but let me ask you this, Joni. How do you feel, though, that we have someone that is there involved with DOGE that receives billions of dollars from our government? Do you think that's a conflict of interest? Do you think that things can really be done fair? Exactly, Nanotink. Yes, has been doing it all along. But here's my question. Even I know for a fact that the second letter that was sent out to employees asking them for the 5 bullet points of what they had done at work the week prior, that email was sent to uh, employees of the federal government directly from Elon Musk. So I was confused by that. I know a couple people that are federal employees. And so when they got those letters and they were direct from Elon Musk, I was confused on that because he's not supposed to be in the role of an employee or the in charge or the head of DOGE, but yet he sent out that email requesting 5 things that they had done. Hi, Big Mama. Doesn't matter? Yeah, it matters. Because whenever, to me, when you're talking about when he stood in the Oval Office with his little boy up on his shoulders, and he was talking about how transparent that DOGE is with the American people, well, wouldn't that be your first step into transparency? Is saying, yes, this is my job title. Yes, this is what I'm doing. I would expect that from our country. Are you guys okay with that being skipped over? Again, just a question. Just a question. Okay, and his goal is to eliminate excess spending. Okay, the government has overspent for decades. Right. Well, do you remember even a few decades ago when the whole story came out about, tools and supplies that were ordered for our government and a hammer costing $10,000? Do any of you remember that? So there's always been like those kinds of contracts, that have snuck under that we've all known about for a very long time. So, but I guess my specific question is, do you have no problem with someone that is receiving billions, not hundreds, not thousands, not tens of thousands, not hundreds of thousands, but billions from our government being in charge over a program that is cutting money from everywhere? I don't think anyone should be surprised that he is in charge. I've spoken of time and again during it. Yes, he was spoken about, but again, it was that he was an advisor, that he was not in charge. And I know there's a big difference in an advisor and somebody who is a department head. There's a big, big difference there. So, but I'm just curious, does it bother you guys that, he was not considered an employee? And then what happened right after President Trump made the remark on Tuesday night that Elon Musk was in charge? And by the way, I don't know if you saw it, but Elon Musk did have a suit on, very nice suit, whenever he was there with Congress. But the following day, then the attorneys that have already filed in court about even him being an advisor, Wednesday filed to go before the judge that they then had proof that he was not an advisor, as it had been said, that the president himself said on Tuesday night that he is in fact in charge of DOGE. So they were filing to go before the judge on that. Now, and here is, hi, truly amazing. Welcome in, sweetheart. And here's my question. Are we going to spend the next 4 years of everything that this president tries to do, that it's going to end up before a judge? Because already there's countless cases that have been filed, and even like with the money being withheld from Ukraine because of what happened with Zelensky at the White House last week, then money was withheld. The Supreme Court said, sorry, you cannot do that. You cannot withhold this money. They haven't stated yet when that money is going to be released, but that also immediately went before the courts. So are we now going to have, I guess, a change in our government where everything that our sitting president tries to do, that is going to be challenged by an attorney in court? And if so, how far are we going to get with things? Correct. He doesn't get a salary, but look up how much money, though, he has gotten. And welcome in, Bella. Uh, he gets a lot of money from our government. His whole space program and everything is funded from the United States government. Yes, exactly, Nana. That's what I'm saying. He's gotten billions of dollars, not thousands, not hundreds of thousands, not millions, but billions. So, is that something that the American public is okay with? I mean, I'm curious. I'm not here, and I'll say this 100 times. I'm not here to preach to you. I want to talk. I want everyone to have a seat at the table, and I really want to know what other Americans feel. I truly do. Hi, Lori. Okay, see, and Lori says that they're going to fight him at every turn simply because they don't like him. Okay, Big Mama says, is it being done because the opposition uh, left of the aisle would rather slow progress? Well, see, that's what I'm wondering. Now, let me ask you guys this. What do you think? And I don't care if you're Democrats or Republicans again, or even independents. What do you think about the behavior that there was in Congress on Tuesday night on that floor? With the printed t shirts, with the paddles in the air, being, kicked out. What do you think about the behavior that was there on the floor when the president was speaking? What do you think? I know for me personally, I think the holding up the paddles, Elon is a thief. Elon has stolen this, that, whatever. Just all the remarks and the t-shirts, I thought it was absolutely disgusting. Whenever I say to us as a group, hi Pearl, welcome in. When I say to us as a group in a chat to behave and be respectful of each other, and yet our elected officials can go into a setting like that and literally act like children. I thought it was disgusting. And again, we have the entire world watching to see, what is going to happen with this government, that's now been in place a very short time. Uh, new cabinet, new president, new vice president, the whole bit. And then for our elected officials to get on that floor and behave the way they did, me personally, I was totally ashamed. Totally ashamed. There's a right place, and do you guys agree or disagree on this? There's a right place to express your opinion and behave a certain way depending on where you're at. And I just don't think that being in that setting, that was a play. And what did it accomplish? What did it do? So I know I saw Bernie Sanders when he walked out and they had asked him his opinion and stuff. And he just said he heard, nothing new and threw up his hands. And it's like, for that 3 seconds, was that worth it? You know, we tell our children to go to school, listen to their teachers, sit in their seat, do their homework, the whole bit. And yet our congressmen and women cannot do that. You know, I thought it was very bad, very bad. So, and like I said, I don't care what your party is. I just looked at the behavior. I have 5 grandchildren. Do I want them thinking that this behavior from adults and elected officials is okay? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, but I think if each side continues the way they do, then we're going to waste a whole lot of time and nothing's going to be accomplished. So, because every single time that something comes up and the president is doing it, there's a motion filed in court. So now I know that hi Monique, okay, you're from Vermont, you love him. Well, you know what? Yes, you've made a lot of noise in recent weeks. That's true. Hi, Nancy. Um, oh, thank you. Thank you very much. But here's the thing that to just storm out, say the few words and stuff, you've heard nothing new, and leave. Do you think that's a good representation of yourself or of the people that you're there, that you're paid to and were voted in to represent? Do you think that is good representation? Well, I don't know. Now, see, and Big Mama, now even there, whenever you say hardworking Americans, uh, are agreeing that things are being done well, and then there's some Americans. I know a lot of school teachers have been complaining that they voted for the president. They had no idea on wanting to get rid of, the federal government taking care of education and letting it come down to the states. So there's a mixture out there. Believe me, I'm talking to people all day, every day. I really want people's opinions. I want to know what other people besides me and my husband, what we think about things. So, and do you guys think, let me ask you this. Do you think that there should be punishments for behavior like that when it's done on the floors? I know. And how many of you heard about, is he a senator, Senator Green from Texas, that got called to the House floor, and then what happened with him? But do you guys think there should be a punishment, a fine, a something when you are at a called to meeting and you go there intentionally to misbehave? Do you think there should be a sanction or some kind of punishment for behaving that way? Oh, thank you, Monique. Well, you know what? I wanted to start doing these because how many channels other than the news channels talk about things? And I get very frustrated with the news depending on what channel that you watch, what they talk about. And there's so many questions that, like, I want to know that they don't cover. So it's like, why can't we come on YouTube and talk about it? You know, I don't need a reporter from Fox to hear their opinion or a reporter from CNN to hear their opinion. And then they skip over so much. It's like, I want to know what real people like me, what they feel like, you know? Now, see, most of you are saying that yes, they should be punished or sanctioned. So, of course, I'm going to have a second part to that question. What should the punishment or sanction be? Should it be different if you're just holding up a paddle with something written on it versus it being on your shirt versus saying stuff out loud? What should the punishment be? And should it be for that specific person or for the state that they represent? And again, we're all in different states, we're all different ages. I want to know what you think. Okay, so now Monique says free speech, but do you have the right whenever you are called to the Congress floor, Monique, and the president is there to address the Congress as a whole, the joint session of Congress? He's there to make a speech to everyone, and he can't get through the speech because of people that are elected officials, not just people like us getting into the Congress building, but elected officials are there disrupting. You think that that still falls under free speech? I mean, yeah, it's great that we're entitled to free speech, but is that the place to display it? What would the punishment be if you or I did exactly what they did? Punishment should be the same. Exactly. Well, that's what I'm asking, you know? And but the only thing is they are not like you and I, Nana Tink. They are elected officials. See, we're just the average person. We're just the commoners in the country. They are elected. They have a specific seat there because they were elected by we the people. So, you know, do you put them in jail where they're going to bond out in no time and that's it? You know, do they have to then go through the court system and then a judge decide what should their punishment be and should it be harsh? So, see, I feel very strongly about this myself. Just wanted to see what you guys think about it. I think that there should be a law passed, and it's sad that we have to do that, but a law should be passed that there will be zero tolerance for it. And the punishment should be very harsh, whether it's mandatory jail time, fine time, you know, a large fine, whatever, to set an example that that behavior, regardless of your party, regardless of what the party is of the president, that that behavior is not acceptable or allowed, period. Period. So, do you know how many people from other countries laugh at us to see that? Well, exactly. Actually, Nana Tink, I think when you're an elected official, you should be held to a higher standard. You know, that you should be held accountable even more than the average Joe. You know, the majority, there are exceptions, but the majority of people that are in these positions, they're educated, they went to college, the majority of them are all lawyers, you know, or bankers. So they've worked in a professional field. They know how to behave, you know. So I think they actually should be held to a higher standard than us. Okay, so you guys are agreeing. All right. Pearl wants to send a gift to somebody because she's happy for her. Okay, good. Um, Does anybody know any of the things that the president talked about on Tuesday, like about money being cut for different countries, for different departments and stuff? Do you agree that all of that information that he gave was correct? Yeah, well, Monique, totally. That's what I have said all along. I don't care what your party affiliation is. We have to have respect for that office. We have to. You know, it has bothered me forever whenever I hear, and yes, it started with President Obama and it's gotten so much worse, but especially with President Trump, that on all the news channels, even in newspapers, he's referred to as Trump. He's not just Trump, he's President Trump. At one point, he was former President Trump, but he should be addressed by that title, period. Period. And it drives me crazy to hear people say, well, guess what Trump's doing today? Well, which Trump? You know, or are you talking about the President Trump? So, but no, that is totally a pet peeve of mine. So, do you guys agree with the things like he was talking about the cuts for DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion? Thank you, Chetty Hat. You know what it is? It's just the lighting. I'm sitting here. Last week I was at my house. Tonight I'm at my hotel, and it's just the lighting. That's all. That's all it is. So maybe I should. You're the second one to say that. Maybe I should just sit right here with this little light over my phone. But that's all it is. It's just the lighting. So well, yeah, Nana Tink, I agree with you on that. They're definitely not better than anyone. That's a given. But they do have a public responsibility, you know, and they are accountable to us. So I was looking like for who that was and holding up those stupid signs. And does anybody remember when Nancy Pelosi was still there and she ripped up President Trump's speech? It's like, what was that supposed to do? You know, I never got that. I know they did not have a good relationship, but what was tearing up the speech supposed to show, do, cause, change? What was that supposed to do? Okay, you like about Canada being becoming a state. He says things because I get social media and it is the yeah. Well, here's the other thing too that I think that happens is that yeah, it gets people talking, but I think too that the people that are around the president should be giving sometimes more thorough information. He is just one person. Just like you have a primary physician, your primary does not specialize in anything and everything that could possibly go wrong with you. That's why they send you to specialists. And when the president relies on the people around him to give him correct information, and they do not, I don't hold any president uh, accountable for that. I think they need the opportunity to change some things, but a president, I don't care who it is, who their name is, him or her, that they should be, responsible for knowing every single thing that's going on everywhere. Now, I can tell you, like when he was naming all these countries that were getting money and stuff from us, different programs, and he was talking about the transgender mice, that was totally misinformation. And I don't think that he said that intentionally because there is no program for transgender mice. There is a thing called a transgenic mouse, which in labs where they use animals for testing, for drugs, for products, whatever, they are not your average field mouse or hood rat. They are, what do you call it? I don't want to call them genetically modified, but they do things with their genetics that they are made that way for specific purposes of testing. So they are called transgenetic, not transgender. So I think whoever read over that little blurb and said, "Oh my gosh, there's a program for transgender mice," there's not. So they give that to him or to the speechwriter that writes the speeches because every president and not just President Trump. That's why when President Trump first took office, if you guys remember this, he was accused of going rogue all the time, which means he was going off script because any elected official that is in um, that is in office, they are the spokesperson for the machine behind them. He cannot come out and just say anything and everything that he wants to. There is a speech written for him, and he is supposed to stick to that. In his first term, of course, he had no clue about that. So he went off speech all the time. And that was a big no no because forever, presidents have presented what they are given to present. So, and then when I heard the thing about the transgender mice, I was just like, oh my gosh, whoever got this information and put this in this speech, shame on them. Shame on them for doing that. So he obviously, somewhere along the line, some of this stuff, and I don't know if it's intentional or not, but when you have people on one side that are totally disagreeing, want no part of him, he's a bad guy, through and through, he's awful. There's no hope for him as a president. When they're getting all of this stuff, and then you have the channels that have uh, that they are straight Democrats, they nail all of this stuff to the wall. And then the Republican channels, they will skip over a lot. or try to justify things. And it's so wrong. When this is happening with our news media, doing these things, no one is giving us the true story, the full picture. And that's what I'm always after. I want to know everything. Like, I don't want you to tell me just this one side. Like, when I heard the thing about the transgender mice, and look it up, you guys, I implore you to do your own research. There is nothing better than a person that can question. So, the monkey that Biden gave Ukraine, oh, the money, I thought it said monkey. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm thinking, when did he give them a monkey? So, I'm sorry about that. Didn't mean that. But I don't know. Why don't you tell me? Let's see what okay. Nana Tink, here she go. Oh, another girl who knows her politics. Under the Biden administration, the National Institutes of Health doled out millions of dollars in taxpayer funded grants for institutions access to perform transgender experiments on mice. Okay. Again, there's all kinds of experiments done on whatever, but the specific thing that they were talking about, it was not for experiments on anything. It was for transgender mice, and there is no such thing. So, and I'll be happy to share that with you too, Nana Tink, but there is no such thing as a transgender mouse. There's not. So, and they're not, like I said, they're not your regular field mouse or hood rat. They're specialized mice that are used for the labs, and just the information that was given. That's just like when President Trump was campaigning and he was saying that our federal tax dollars are being used in the prisons for um, sex changes. That's what. Yeah, my eyes are bad. I'm sorry. I I read monkey. So see, I shouldn't be reading out loud, but I'm like, the monkey. I never heard about the monkey. But yeah, it says money. Sorry about that. At least I'm honest, right? Don't start holding up your paddles at me now with the word monkey on it. But whenever he was saying, when he was on the campaign trail, about the federal law that people are getting sex changes in prisons, I thought, huh? So, of course, I started researching and stuff. And no, there's a law that says that when you have prisoners, that their health, they have to be taken care of. And there's only, in the past, I think decade it was, there's only two people that were transgender that had something done. It's not even confirmed that it was a sex change of any kind. But under federal law, if someone is in prison, they have a right to health care. That doesn't mean a full transformation surgery, you know? Oh, great, you've got your paddle. Okay. Just write something nice on there. Just don't write monkey, please. But whenever people saw that and they ran with that, that, oh my gosh, there's transgender people everywhere getting sex changes in prison. No. And it truly, if you start looking up your information, you'll find so much. See, okay, but see, if it says that on the government White House page, does that mean that President Trump put it there? Absolutely not. It means one of these people that are giving the information to the speech writers, to other people on the staff, whatever, that he's not always given the correct information to give to the American public. I would love, I don't know how you guys feel about this. I would love a president that if they make a mistake, they overspeak on something, that they would just come out and say, you know what, I gave you guys the wrong information. Rebecca working over here for me, I don't know, she was drinking wine or something, did not collect her stuff right. She passed it to me. I reported it to you, and I'm sorry. I would have so much respect for somebody doing that instead of the opposition team then pouncing on it and wanting to fight and filing things in court and the whole bit. No. I think we're going to have a whole lot of nothing being accomplished. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, but Pearl, here's the thing. They have the right to continue a procedure, but look it up and see how many procedures, were done. There is nothing that documents, and there's only two people that were transgender that received some kind of treatment. It doesn't specify that it was a a sex change. It does not specify that. So, hello, Rita. Hello, hello. Hello, Mr. Cupcake. He's popping in the room right now. But you know what I'm saying? I looked everywhere to try and specifically find out what it was that they got. No, but you know what? No, no. Here's the thing with HIPAA, I wouldn't have seen what they got if it was that person's name. That's where HIPAA applies. Is like even here for my husband, Mr. Cupcake. For him, he has to give permission, at the doctor's offices for me to know his personal information. So, and I'm not saying you were going to do any of that stuff, honey, but if, that's only because that's his own private information. The government could state what was done without giving the person's name, social security number, you know what I'm saying? All of that. But it doesn't mention any of that, nor does it mention what, if anything, was done. But it definitely does not say that it was anything to do with a sex change. So, and those are the kind of things that honestly, I don't know about you guys, it drives me crazy. I want to know the answers to those. I don't want a little band-aid put on something. I want to know. And I think I have the right to know. Do you guys agree with that or disagree? But I think if somebody puts some information out there and they share just a little speck with me, I want to know the full story. I want to know it all. So that's why I looked it up, because I thought I've never heard of such a thing. So, and then I spent quite a bit of research time going from one place to another and like trying to follow the thing. Well, exactly. Exactly. But and it's like who do we hold accountable? Like where is that resource department to go to and say, okay, this law is on the books. You're stating that there's two people who have been treated. I'm not asking for their name, their age, their previous sex, their current sex. I want to know where, it was done and what was done. That has nothing to do with HIPAA. HIPAA is your own privacy, like insurance. You know what I'm saying? That your own stuff is going to be protected. I didn't ask for a name. I just want to know what was done. And see, with as many as we have incarcerated, all there is that's showing on there is two people being treated. About those transgenders, I don't remember what it was titled, but I just came about there like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Yeah. Well, see, I started looking into it as soon as um, okay, but now Lori, where do you see that at? That there's a prison in Illinois in 22 and 22 that granted a sex change. Now, if they granted a sex change, granted, does that mean it was actually done? Because all I have found is that there were two transgender people that were treated, and it did not say what the services were. See, now I see, and I agree with Joni, but I don't even see Joni's thing on here. This darn chat, the way the thing jumps, if you guys could see on this side compared to that side, it literally jumps. Let me see if I can go back and find what she said now, because this is going to bug me. Wait. Give me 1 second, guys. Yes, this is real life with an old lady. Deal with it. But I want to know. Okay. Nope, and now it's freezing up on me. Okay. Well, if somebody wouldn't mind telling me what Joni said, I want to know. Darn it all. Wait, now maybe it's moving again. Let's see. Oh, did I delete you, Pearl? I'm sorry. I was trying to click on the cursor thing to move it up. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. See, you cannot leave me alone in a chat. This is what I do. Okay, what came from NBC? No, there's not a way to slow it down. The more that people are typing, it jumps on its own. I have no control over that. None. Oh, totally. Totally. I agree with that, Joni. Okay, thank you for putting that back in there. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can't, and again, it wasn't until President Trump ran the first time around that we as Americans truly saw the divides in the news channels. You know, how many people knew prior to prior to President Trump running that, you know, Fox is a Republican channel, CNN is a Democratic channel, MSNBC is a Democratic channel. How many people knew there was such a divide? I know I always thought a news channel that sometimes they didn't always cover stuff, you know, as much as someone else did, but I had no idea that they chose such deep divides in political parties. Okay, Illinois. Okay, that she saw. Now, see, and I have a brother that lives in Illinois. Well, I have a few brothers that live in Illinois. I got a lot of brothers, and we discuss politics all the time, and I have not heard one of them say that Illinois was that state. But I don't know. You know what? Next week I want to cover DOGE, and I'm in the meantime I'm going to be looking this up to see what other information that I can find out. Is what I'll do. Okay, but back up here. Are you reading this? For her health while in custody, that she underwent surgery. That does not mean a sex change operation. You know what I'm saying? It was gender affirming surgery is what you're calling it. Wait, Lori, are you talking about the same person that Pearl was talking about? Oh, well, thank goodness, Nana, that you clarified that. I was gonna say, honey, if you made a career there in 20 years, you go, girl. I'm just playing with you. Okay, but see, now you say yes, you believe so, but you don't know so. And that is what I like I want to know. Like this person that was transgender could have had a broken leg, could have had a broken arm, could have had a liver problem, whatever. Just because somebody who identified as transgender does not mean that they had full. And here's the thing: when they go through gender reassignment, that's a long process. You know what I'm saying? That's not one surgery. It's several steps to a surgery. So that's also the thing there that I'm going to look that up and see this week. Okay, but see, you're saying that she had the surgery. When a person is transgender, it's multiple surgeries. It's not just one. So, and it takes, well, we kind of got a little glimpse into it. It didn't really show that much detail. What was that show that was on I Am Jazz? Remember a few years ago, and stuff. And the girl went through all of her surgeries and things, and it was several years. So see, I don't know. That's where I'm just. I know from things that we've heard from inmates about how they can't even get basic medications that they need, that how in the world would our government be paying for full sex changes? I'm not buying it. And then all that I could find is that there were two transgender people in more than a decade, two that had received medical services, but it did not say for what. So, oh, with my nails? No, well, these are actually my same nails from last week. I haven't changed them yet, but no. Oh, you get used to them, honey. Plus, my husband's wonderful. He does a lot. Well, now, God, you're talking about my nails, so I'll tell you. I have one earring on, and I have one earring off. So that's why I have my hair pulled up here to the front. But this earring, I actually broke it trying to hook the back. So I said, the heck with that. I got to get on air. So, yeah. So when you see this do, most of the time where I have the one ear back and then I pull some for it, that's why I only have one earring on. So, yeah, I'll just tell you all my secrets tonight. Yes, I will. May I ask, what is the opinion of the chat of our, okay, the name is Christine Nicole. Okay, but again, here is my question. Where does it say that she had full gender reassignment surgery? And that's not just one surgery, it's surgeries. I mean, I don't want to get graphic into it, but it's over a long period of time. Like, even, and it's very costly, even for people who have it done. I don't even know how they afford it. So, when you have people that are in the prison systems, and you have several that, are gay couples, straight people, behaving gaily, I guess. Is that wrong? Or the correct way to say it? I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? That some people say that when they go in jail that they're straight, but they have a partner and whatever. So, but so many of them complain about the lack of medical care, basic medications and stuff, that they cannot receive those. So it just, I guess I speculate on the fact that if people can't get their basic medications that they need, how in the world could somebody get several surgeries and be taken care of, like when they're bedridden and stuff? How could they be taken care of in the proper way in that environment to have a full sex change? That's my question. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and thank you, Nana Jean, but I am far from perfect, girlfriend. I'm the first one to say it. What are your feelings, uh, ladies and gents, on our Vice President, J.D. Vance? And I'm sorry, but I am just going to have to go here tonight because I want to know about, what do you think about the way that he spoke to President Zelensky? What do you think? Was that okay to say to him? Hi, Melinda. You support Vance, okay? You love J.D. Vance. Okay. But do you think the way that he spoke to President Zelensky was okay? Okay, here's one saying he's a bully, in your opinion. Okay. Well, here's one thing that I was just a little confused on, and if anybody else knows this, please correct me on this. But anytime I have ever seen a president host a head of another country, it's always been the president, because the president and the vice president have different jobs. I've never seen a president host, I don't care if they're from China, from Canada, from Mexico, from wherever. I've never seen a president and a vice president hosting the head of a country. So seeing um, President Zelensky sitting there by President Trump, as every person is, then JD Vance is over here on the couch and then making his that threw me off. So I just want to know what you guys think. Was it okay for him to talk to President Zelensky the way that he did? And I don't know how many of you saw, hi, little Debbie. I don't know how many of you saw the reporter that was standing there right behind the couch where Vice President Vance was sitting. There was a reporter there in the front. He's only been shown on a few of the news channels. And the reporter is a gentleman who is dating a senator. So how he got into the Oval Office, I don't know, but he was just there. And did you guys hear it when he asked Zelensky? He just blurted out to him, "Why don't you have a suit on? Do you even own a suit? You should have a suit on if you're going to be here at the White House and stuff." Really? Well, what happens when people come here from UAE and they have the full long things on and the things on top of their heads, or they come from India and they're wearing their clothing? They're allowed to wear whatever they've worn in their country. So, hi, Mr. Picky, welcome in, honey. So, why is it that President Zelensky was being told this by a reporter, that he should have a suit on, and asking him if he even owns one? Okay, I'm missing here what I see. Rita saying we've never seen that process is the first place, but I love the opportunity to witness the process. Well, Elon Musk wasn't in that meeting, but I'm just saying at that meeting, was it okay for Vice President Vance to say what he said to President Zelensky? And was it okay for that reporter to be questioning a president of a country about his clothing, and then asking him, I guess as his follow up question, do you even own a suit? Do you guys think that was okay? And then shortly after that meeting, that's when future aid to Ukraine was withheld. Okay, but here's the thing, that whenever, it doesn't matter for President Zelensky if he was a comedian, a cowboy, he was in movies, what he was doing, prior to being in office. I mean, President Trump had a reality show, The Apprentice. So that has nothing to do with it. They are elected officials. But, you know, was it okay for the vice president to speak up and to be saying what he said to Zelensky? Again, just like with the Congress, the way that the Congress, our people on the floor, how they behaved the other night, was it okay for our vice president to do? He was for Harris, okay. Okay. Yes, well, President Zelensky did go on the campaign trail for Vice President Harris. Yes, that's true. But whenever, let me ask you this. How did, well, Mr. Piggy, did you see what the vice president had said to President Zelensky in the White House? And whenever, all of this was done there, I personally just felt with between the reporter, then Vice President Vance, who I still do not understand why he was at a meeting with the head of state with the president. I've never seen that before. And if anybody has, please tell me when it happened because I've never seen that. So, and when we're talking about money being given and him saying that President Zelensky should be grateful to President Trump, well, how much money was given under this current administration that just took office in January? How much money had this administration given to Ukraine? You know? So, and then when President Zelensky left the White House, then following that, and of course it makes news everywhere on every single channel, they're all giving their own spin on that and stuff that, well, you know what? I think that President Zelensky handled himself very well. And if it's anybody that I would have gone off on in that room, it wouldn't have been President Trump. It wouldn't have been Vice President Vance. It would have been the reporter that asked why I was dressed that way and if I owned a suit. That's who I'd be going after. I mean, common sense is he's the president of a country. He's probably got a gazillion suits or could have versus, a reporter, for God's sakes. So I think for a reporter to even be allowed to speak like that to the president of another country, what does that open the floodgates up for? When we have somebody that comes here then from Egypt or Iran or China, is it going to be okay to comment on their clothing as well? I just think, again, when these people are put in, I call them privileged positions. When you're an elected official, when you're a reporter who has managed somehow, some way to get there with a very select group in the White House, and that's the best that you can say to the president of a country. I didn't know that what is going on with the Ukraine has anything to do with fashion. Maybe I'm blinded by something, I don't know. But I didn't know that fashion had anything to do with it. And I think for President Zelensky, with parts of their country literally being nothing but rubble, how would that make him look other than a common man to come dressed the way that he did if he came in a $10,000 suit? Well, it wasn't like sweatpants. They're kind of like cargo-y kind of pants that he wears. He must have 100 of that same outfit, but that's what he's always worn every time we've seen him. So when you see the guys, when you see the like Sheikh Mohammed from UAE, if he comes here and he's got the full long cloak on and his head covered and stuff, would it be okay to say derogatory things to him? Why doesn't he have a suit on instead of all that flowing fabric? You know, that's what I'm saying. Is it right? But if it's not your style, if it's not your thing, if it's not your tradition, whatever, Mr. Picky, should you be forced to wear something? And does a reporter that is in the room have the right to blast you to the world for not having a suit on? You know? So, like I said, I did not know that the fashion was the most important thing. I mean, you girls know me. I would be the first one to be talking fashion. Oh, yes, I would. But definitely not to a president of a country. I wouldn't be doing that. They have a lot bigger issues than what he's wearing. You know, if he shows up the next time in a suit, is that gonna like change anything for him? You know, and he did say when he was also asked by a reporter if it meant that you had to step down to help your country, would you do that? And he said yes, that he would. Okay, see, I've never seen him. I'm asking. I've never seen him in a suit. I, I've never seen him in anything other than this like military kind of like outfit that he wears. J.D. Vance, Kerner, in your respect again, if you lose your respect, I wouldn't hold that against him. He is very intelligent, very smart, and is a good man with a good soul. Hmm. Well, I don't. For one thing that someone does, I don't like go, oh my gosh, I don't like you anymore. I was just shocked, like I said, to see him sitting there in this meeting and then shocked that he went so hard on President Zelensky. It I was left speechless. Yeah, well, exactly, Mr. Picky. I wouldn't care if they come to the White House in bathrobes. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you come to the White House, you're there for obviously something important. Oh, I didn't see it, Big Mama. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read the chat. Okay, and now Pearl is saying he wouldn't step down. He banned election and enacted martial law. Okay. All right. He was in Munich this week, prior with Marco Rubio and Zelensky for a meeting to start the discussion ahead of time. Okay. And yeah, what you know what? I'm sorry, but I really think that, and God, please forgive me if I'm saying this the wrong way, but watching especially the elderly in the Ukraine in bombed out buildings and stuff and no food and nowhere to go and keeping the men, behind and stuff to fight for the country. The very first thing that I thought is President Zelensky, you will never be in the situation that the people of your country are in. You're never going to go hungry. You are going to be just fine, sir. So war is a terrible, terrible thing. Yeah, well, I know they were talking about the mineral rights, and he was actually going to give it, and then I guess that was pulled back, and then that when that was pulled back, then our money was pulled back and stuff. I just think that there's got to be something to stop this kind of behavior all the way around, or it's going to be a long 4 years. And what is going to be accomplished? And the people that are going to hurt the most and be suffering from inflation, raising kids, it's going to be us, the American people. So, oh, there's the darn chat jumping. Who would I rather have as a vice president? How about who would all of you guys rather have as a vice president? Okay, Zelensky's not even in his country watching his people suffer. Yeah. Well, see, that's my thing, is that there's so much destruction there. And even like the few times I've seen his wife when she comes out on the, and of course, war is a business. So they're out campaigning and getting money from everywhere and stuff. Even the money that we've given them, it's single digits of what a budget that we have. But when they go out fundraising and stuff places, and his wife has gone out and done it also and stuff, she is dressed down from what I'm sure she's normally dressed in. But there's people in your country that don't have food, they're underground, it's just, it's sad. Oh my God, it's sad. Okay, now Ella says whether he was wearing jogging pants or a suit that doesn't call for their disrespect. Are you talking about the disrespect to him, Ella, or the disrespect that JD Vance was claiming that he was showing to President Trump? That's what I'd like to know. Oh, I don't know who had a loss, but I'm sorry to hear this. Yeah, the country of the Ukraine, literally, it's sand and rock. There are some cities, yes, that are still standing, but it's been, demolished for the most part. So it's just, there are no winners when it comes to war, and it's always the poorest of the poor that suffer. And I just think, as a world, not as a country, but as a world, everyone, especially children and our elderly, have a right to be somewhere safe and to have food. It's just my own belief, you know. So yeah, what we have to, as I said before, Mr. Picky, it doesn't matter whether or not, somebody wanted President Biden or they wanted our Vice President Harris to become the president. Fact of the matter is that President Trump is in office. And we do, as Americans, need to at least give him the opportunity to get some things done. But if every single thing, and I look at it open minded, that, okay, give him a chance, let's see what happens, and take it as it goes along. But right now, with our Congress and our senators all fighting a divide line right down the middle between Democrats and Republicans, and then all of these attorneys filing all of this stuff and asking the Supreme Court to rush on it to make decisions and stuff, how are we ever going to accomplish anything? I would love just one bill to come up and for both sides to say, I'm not going to vote on party lines, I'm going to vote on principle. Wouldn't you guys love that? Hi, Olivia. Welcome in. I'm glad that you're here. I love your insight, Olivia. But wouldn't that be great if we could do that? If we could just have one vote, I don't care if it was for parking spaces, that Democrats and Republicans could vote based on what the issue is, not on party lines. You know, I just think, just if a few of them did it, I think it would spread like wildfire, you know? So, and then there's, again, you have your group that are pro Trump, and then your anti Trump people, and nobody wants to cross a line. And I say we erase that line in the middle. And the way to do it is, and people might not think it matters, but when you call your congressmen and you call your senators' offices, literally The person who's answering the phone, like if you call in and say, I don't like my taxes being high, she has a whole sheet in front of her and she's marking what people are calling in for. And then that information is given to the person whose office you're calling because they know they're elected. They want to know what their people are concerned about. So when you call into those offices and say those, whatever you've got to say, they're marking it down and it does go to that official. You can also make appointments to see them in Congress or in their local offices or to see when a town hall is. Well, but we've always been a country, though, Ella, that we don't just take care of our own backyard. We're part of the rest of the world and our countries that are our allies and stuff. And so, just as a global economy, we have to participate in other places. So, well, exactly, Mr. Picky. That's what I'm saying. If we could just get a few people that could say, on this issue, I feel very strongly. I know I'm a Democrat, but today I'm going to vote Republican or with the Republicans or the Republicans, vice versa. That, gosh, I feel really strongly about this farm bill. I know I'm a Republican, but a Democrat put it up. I believe in this and I'm going to vote for this. We could get so much accomplished. So much. Can you imagine if we would have thrown Zelensky on the floor for calling him that? I can see them rolling around social media. Would have exploded. Okay, well, I guess this is true. Oh, you're responding, Mr. Picky. Okay. But see, we all, and a lot of people say, it doesn't matter. They're going to do what they're going to do. No, they're not, because all of these officials that we have, they're elected. They're elected by me and by you. And we do have some power with them. Because if they ever want to be reelected again and stuff, they're going to have to vote and do things the way of their districts are from home. And that's why it's important that they hear from you. Okay, wanted to buy a vowel. I got that, Harry. Can't take credit. Hilarious. Okay. Oh, total ego. Well, well, you know what? Now, do you think, Nana Tink, let's be honest, if you or I were the president of a country, wouldn't we have some kind of little bit of an ego? My honest opinion on how Zelensky was treated, my honest opinion is I thought it was horrible. I thought that, again, I was more shocked, I think, by the reporter that wasn't even like a regular. See, the president has regular reporters that are there at the White House and the ones that travel with him on Air Force One. And this was a reporter that's dating a senator who managed to get in there, and that's the best that he could do was to ask him about his clothing and why he didn't have a suit on and stuff. My gosh, if that was my first time in the Oval Office, I would be saying something better than that to maybe impress the president so I could be back again, something. But I was just blown away by that. That, again, a reporter, president of a country, reporter, president of a country. You know, I would have removed that reporter immediately to show uh, to show respect for the leader that was being treated that way by a reporter. I can't. I, I just I can't. And again, I'm just a commoner. I'm right here with you guys. And I'll never be in the Oval Office. I'll never have the opportunity to ever ask a world leader a question. But it certainly wouldn't be, don't you own a suit? Why do you come here dressed like that? Do you know you're disrespectful to the president? No, I was speechless. That and the paddles on Tuesday night of, adults behaving badly, throwing tantrums at a speech that's given by the president that you should have common sense to behave, sit in your seat. If you didn't want to be there, you shouldn't have gone. But to hold up those paddles, they do sell square ones, just so you know, at Dollar Tree for $1.25. Not the round ones, but they have square ones. Now they'll probably come out with the round ones, but you can get the square ones and write whatever you want to on them. But no, I didn't understand that. Why take a shower, fix your hair, put your makeup on, do all that, drive over there, get your seat in Congress to behave like that? I I I don't understand that. I don't know. I mean, is it me? Like I do not have a mean bone in my body. I wish nothing mean or bad for anybody, even people that don't like me. I don't have it in my heart. I just don't. So, and I'm always for that. I guess I call them the underdog. And when I see that somebody is being treated poorly, my heart goes out to them. It does. This is impeach to support women. Yes, voted against keeping pads on of women's sports. Okay, yeah. Now, what about the one? And I'm going to be ending here, but what about the one with the girl that got brain damage from a boy being able to play volleyball on uh, on a girls' team? It was like, holy moly! I never even thought about that. I mean, I've thought about injuries before, but that somebody was there that actually had, a traumatic brain injury from that. I was like, holy cow. And the little boy and getting his badge from the Secret Service. I mean, there was a lot of great, highlight moments, I thought. Yeah. Yeah, see, I just like, I can't. Like, if I'm not the person for you, no hard feelings, move on. Don't mess with me, but move on, And just I cannot condone at any time, any situation, being mean to someone. I can't. I can't do it. And especially if it's somebody that's elderly or if it's a child, definitely that. No, I'm going to stand up for them. So, yes, I will. So, but I thought there was a lot of good things that came out of the speech on Tuesday. I think that it gives a lot of America hope. And I know so many of us are struggling. The prices of stuff, it's just unreal. Oh, you know. But see, I'm like in an unfair advantage because of the mess that we're going in, through right now. The hurricane that came through for us, it will be 5 months ago on January. Not Jan. We're in March. What am I saying? Rebecca, wake up. March 9th will be 5 months ago that this hurricane happened. There is no reason for me to still be living in a hotel. There's no reason for me to be paying for a hotel. My insurance should be paying for that. But they're dragging their feet. But that's another question. That's another time, another topic. So, but I think we can all be an example to those around us by being positive people, by being kind, and setting an example. It really does spread. People can only be bad and negative and mean if they have somebody or a situation to do it in or to be. You know what I'm saying? So if you're the bigger person in a situation, you can help diffuse a lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. So, well, I am going to close with that for tonight, and I will be back next week. I was going to do DOGE tonight, but oh my gosh, there's so much good stuff going on. I had to hold it for another week to see like some of the upcoming things that are going on behind the scenes, getting all my little research in line and stuff. So next week we will be doing DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. So I hope that you will join me. And thank you all for being here. I've really tried. And one woman show tonight. Hello. And if any of you ever want to join me on panel, all you have to do, send me an email. I'll just talk to you ahead of time so that I know that you're a real person, not an alien or a mean person. And I'll have you on panel. It's so much easier to talk than it is typing. So if you want to be on the show, and I'm giving you a heads up, next week is going to be on DOGE. I'll be glad to have you on. Okay? So I hope everyone has a great week. I will see you next Thursday. Tomorrow night is Friday. I'm going to be on with Colleen OG Lyons. I'll try and post it on my thing if I can figure out how to do it. I'm going to be on her show tomorrow night selling, doing an auction. And but I'll be back here next Thursday and we'll talk DOGE. Okay? Thank you all for coming, and I will see you next week. God bless you.